All right, so Dana White denied Arman Tsarukyan his rematch after pulling out a day before UFC 311. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's next for Islam Makhachev. He's calling for his second belt. And out of anybody on the roster, I feel like he deserves the second belt more than anybody. I think it's him, Pantoja, and then Herrera if he beats Uncle Live, which I will be doing my video on that right after this. So let's get into it. There we go. Now.
What's up, guys? Gate was 10.2 million. Attendance was 18,370. Sold out. Highest grossing event in arena history and highest grossing MMA event in California. Fight of the night, Merab and Umar. You're in Almeida won. Performance of the night. I'm wheels up at 11:30, so let's keep this short and sweet.
All right. Dana, never ideal with a pay-per-view, main event change on 24 hours notice, but you've done it before. So I guess what was your take on,
Here's the crazy part. The budget's $7.5 million for the gate. We're at 9.5 when the fight falls out. Fight falls out, we replace it. We end up at 10.2.
Where did it rank in terms of chaos behind it? I mean, it ended up being a windfall for you, but, I mean, how chaotic was it? How difficult was it to pull this off?
Every day is chaos in this business. Every day there's something going on. Nobody pulls it off better than we do.
Yeah. Islam goes out there and dominates in the main event. I just want to get your thoughts on his performance and being willing to take this challenge.
Incredible. Both guys. I mean, for Moicano to step up and accept this fight on short notice, and obviously, for the champ. I told you, I said it publicly. He said, brother, I am the champion. I'm going to bed. Whoever I'm fighting tomorrow, I don't care. I'll wake up and I'll fight anybody. So came out and did what you're supposed to do in that position and actually like a stud.
I've seen a lot of people say that because of that, Islam deserves some maybe pound-for-pound number one rankings.
He's already the pound-for-pound number one ranking.
But is he yours?
Yeah. I'll give it to him.
Fair enough. Arman Tsarukyan.
John Jones is going to be mad about that one.
Happy? Is everybody happy now?
Yeah, you finally got you. Arman Tsarukyan, what do you do with him at this point? I mean, do you automatically rebook him in the next title fight? Do you go back to the drawing board?
No. Yeah, he's going back to the drawing board. I don't want anybody to ever fight hurt, ever. We've been in these positions before. Went down there with the doctor. Went down there with Heather from the PI, who is, you can ask any fighter or anybody else, she's the best in the world. And, you miss opportunities sometimes, and he did. So we'll see how this plays out for him next year.
You feel like he could have competed?
You
feel like he could have competed tonight?
I have no idea. I don't know that. Only he knows that.
Last thing I wanted to ask you.
So Dana White, very short and simple, taking away the title shot from Arman Tsarukyan. Now, before we move on into talking about, Islam Makhachev, I want to talk a bit about Arman Tsarukyan and him losing the shot. Now, the UFC, even though that we are fans of this sport, I don't know where to put my mic because, again, this audio shit is pissing me off. But we know that beyond this being a sport, beyond this being entertainment, this is a business, right? They have to make money. Dana White said that the gate increased when they put Renato Moicano on. I could see that. Renato Moicano, a fan favorite. Islam Makhachev is already a big star. And most of the casuals don't really know who Arman is. I mean, yeah, he did beat Carlos Oliveira, but he doesn't have any, real spectacular performances that the general public looks at. Now, for the UFC, they had to scramble to save this card because you had Omar and Merab. That cannot main event. I'm sorry. Well, it wouldn't sell. Now, that fight that we got was main event worthy. Like, I might do a separate video on Merab tomorrow. I want to do my video on the Pereira Ankalaev fight, but for Arman Tsarukyan, I feel a bit bad, but it was a bit odd that he pulled out the night before. Like, I don't know what happened. The doctor that they brought in said he was cleared, and you had Umar fighting with a broken arm. You had Marab dealing with his issues that he said before, and Marab even called out Tsarukyan on the mic. Um, Again, though, this isn't a Marab video. This is an Islam video. For Islam, though, I have a ton of respect for him accepting this fight short notice, finishing the fight instantly. I'm a big Ronaldo Moicano fan, and it hurt me. But as a fan of the sport, as a fan of fighters that are building legacy, I respect what Islam Makhachev, what Khabib, what Umar, and all of the Dagestani fighters have done in their career. Now, moving on to Islam, though, he said in his post-fight press conference he wants a second belt, and I feel like there's not a single fighter on the roster that deserves a or a champ fight more than Islam. Like, you got currently right now, I would say Pereira, if he gets past on Ankalaev, Pantoja, anytime he wants it, he deserves a champ fight if he wants it. I don't know how he'd do against Marab, but yeah. In the lightweight division, though, yeah, Tsarukyan, Dana White just said Tsarukyan's not getting his shot back. You have Oliveira, who we beat for a title. That would be a big pay-per-view. Justin Gaethje, he got knocked out by Max Holloway. He's not close to getting that rematch. You have Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier is having his last fight. Won't be for the title. He lost to Islam at UFC 302. You have Max Holloway, got knocked out by Ilya Topuria. Dan Hooker fighting Justin Gaethje. Michael Chandler, nowhere near a title, and the rest of them, nowhere near a title. Now, Islam Makhachev is friends with Bilal Muhammad. That's why he brought up jumping to middleweight, which these Dagestani fighters do fight really heavy. Like, we know that, like, Khabib had his issues making weight, and Islam had a couple issues, and most of them do. But, a fight between Islam and DDP would feed families. A fight between Hamza Chimaev and Islam Makhachev would feed families. Now, DDP, I want to take away from Sean Strickland. It's fighting Sean next month at UFC 312. Should be a fun fight. The first fight was really close. A lot of people even had Sean Strickland winning that fight. But I feel like for Islam, he said he's retiring in 2026. I don't think he has much to prove at lightweight. He has the record, he has the 4 title defenses. He can add on to that with a rematch against Oliveira, but I don't see any fight at 155 being competitive apart from the Tsarukyan fight, possibly. But I feel like the version of Makhachev we have now, like champion Makhachev, is a entirely different animal. I thought he was going to struggle with Ronaldo Moicano a bit because usually those short notice fights, the fights against the guys lower in the rankings, like Pereira Roundtree comes to mind, those tend to be a more difficult fight for these champions than, a top 5 guy, top 3 guy, number 1 contender, whatever it may be. So, I think it's time for Islam to get a second belt. I think the run he has been on, he's about to break Anderson Silva's win streak record. It only makes sense. It sucks that he wouldn't fight Bilal Muhammad, because I genuinely do believe he has a really good shot at becoming a triple champ. I think it's between him and Pereira for guys that could potentially get the triple championship status. I don't know about simultaneous because I feel like he would have to drop the lightweight belt to move up to middleweight. But yeah, man, it's it's unbelievable. I know I'm also sick of the Dagestani fighters, but like I said, as a fan of the sport, as a fan of somebody who likes when people chase legacy in this sport are breaking records like the defense record, like Silva's record too, I want to see that happen. It only makes the sport better. It only adds on to what fighters can accomplish. And for a guy like Islam Makhachev, he's not like a Sean O'Malley or, you know, a um, Ilya Topuria or any of these other fighters who win the belt and then instantly go for a a champion status when they haven't defended their belt. Makachev has proven that he is the best lightweight on the planet. I want to see him prove that he's the best welterweight, best middleweight. He said that light heavyweight's not an option for him. But like I said, if we're only getting 1 year of Makachev, make it big, right? And you know, I want to talk about Khabib too, because even with the loss that Umar suffered, again, I know he had that injury going into the fight. What Khabib and Islam have accomplished in the lightweight division, I don't think will ever be done. I don't think we will ever see, you know, a fighter retire and then somebody from, not only their camp, but from their childhood, their brother, even though I don't think they're brothers by blood, like, they come in, they dominate the division too. I know Oliveira had his run, and I really enjoyed his run. I was rooting for Oliveira in the fight against Makachev, and I was really disappointed. But, like, we will never see the kind of domination that we have seen with this Dagestan invasion. Like, I compared to, like, WWE invasion, man, where, like, you had all all of the big wrestlers from WCW coming into WWE. Like, it's kind of like that. It's like, you know the Kansas City Chiefs, right? They're on route to win their third Super Bowl. Sadly, but I mean, my Steelers got knocked out in the wild card round yet again after a miserable December. I'm bitter about that. But, like, it's kind of the same thing where, like, when these great runs happen, and especially in a sport like MMA, it is something to behold. We may not cheer for that at the time. You know, I was never a big fan of Usman during his run. I was never a big fan of Woodley in his run. But you look back and you see who these guys beat. You see the dominance that they had. You look at Khabib in his career. It's a shame that his father tragically passed away during the pandemic, and I would love to see Khabib get that 30-0, maybe fight Oliveira, and if he would have beaten Oliveira, he would have, in my eyes, he would have cleared out that division. Michael Chandler, I know he got a title shot against Oliveira, he did look good in that. But like I feel like Khabib would have ran through Michael Chandler. He would have ran through with the guys that are coming up. We'll have to see how Patty Pimblett is. We'll have to see how all these other fighters that are on their rise right now work out. I'm blanking on the guy's name. Yeah. Oh wait, no, he's at 170. Never mind. But like, you know, you can only go off of what the fighter did during their time. I know we like to use the hypothetical. So, well, if he fought this guy, if he fought that guy in your career, what makes you either a top fighter or the greatest fighter of your era is how dominant are you in your wins. And Khabib, Islam have showed a level of dominance we will never see again, I feel. We will never see this takeover that we have seen by Dagestan. And, you know, I part of me is like, I don't want to see Islam win every fight. But another part of me is like, you know what? He deserves it, man. He deserves his flowers. He deserves that second title. But I'm kind of rambling on here. Let me know in the comments, what did you think about Islam's performance against Ronald Moicano? What do you think about Dana White denying Arman Tsarukyan his rematch? And what do you think Arman will need to do to get back to that rematch? Let me know in the comments down on that. Obviously, what do you think about the dominance of these Dagestani fighters? I'm gonna go record a video on Herrera versus Magomed Ankalaev finally after recording this video 3 times in a row. But yeah, thanks for watching. Later.